I oftentimes, when I astral project, I see them, and I make them aware that they're either astral projecting or they've just died. Most of the time when they've
You are such a sweetheart.
Okay, so I ask everyone this question. Why do you want to astral project? I'm Ryan James Cropper, but I like to be called Ryan JC, so I take the first initial of my middle name and my last name and I couple them together. I have to teach people separately now within consultations.
You are always happy because you kind of figured out the secret to life, and that makes us kind of appear maybe as, oh, they're always happy and they don't know what hard stuff is, but in fact, we've had to go through the hardest stuff in order to learn from those things very quickly.
Okay, so this will be the first video on the DMT series. Wow, DMT. And I know a lot of you guys out there, like me, used to look at the DMT stories on YouTube and you'd be so excited to do it and think, it's out of my possession. Never give up hope. You never know when things will show up in your lap and you'll experience something completely phenomenal. This guy, who I'm about to speak to, he knows what I'm talking about. He's done it like I have, and he's changed. His mindset changed since he's hit spirituality, and we're going to talk about it. And yeah, it's going to show up on my channel. And this is completely off the top of our heads. Let's just see what's going to happen. Let's just see. It's going to be so cool. Chair. Oh yeah, I cut my hair. For those of you who may be watching my recent videos thinking, what has he done? Especially for those of you who have joined my Facebook group, Ryan Cropper's Friends, and have seen my cover photo and all my locks. Hair's gone. Curl's gone.
Hello.
Is the thing gone?
Hey man, can you see me?
Gone off.
Okay, one sec. Is that better?
Oh, there you go. Whoa, you grew a beard, man.
Yeah, man.
Looks nice as well.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. I just got off of a chat.
Okay.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's going to be on my channel tomorrow with another friend of mine, and we were just talking for 2 hours. We have he can talk a lot, which is why I added him.
Yeah.
To the conversation we're having tomorrow with Renoir. He's joining. There's going to be 4 of us. All 4 of us can
DMT.
talk. It's about astral projection, not DMT. I haven't got many people yet on board with the DMT series, or the first, because I saw your video before I took it, actually, before I decided to get my hands on it. And I was like, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
You know what? I've been trying to get into astral projection, and I think there might be a link actually between the DMT and. So I think you're on the right track. Never thought of it before.
Really?
Yeah.
You have done it before?
Not dreams. I thought dreams, but never thought about astral projection and stuff like that. But yeah, interesting.
I mean, when I took the DMT, what surprised me the most, I was expecting something I've never experienced before. But it put me back in the mindset, the mental states, the experiences when I was a kid, and the patterns that I saw, the beings I encountered, what happened, and that was whilst I was doing my astral projection phase of my life. So you're correct, they are one in the same kind of thing, you're just going to a different location. The DMT took me to locations higher than what you would normally experience in the astral realm. It doesn't mean you can't get there if you astral project. It's just the DMT gets you there quick, and it feels longer than normal.
Yeah.
But then you come here and it's like 10, 15 minutes gone,
Yeah. It's amazing. Wicked, man. I can't wait to see the series, man. So is it going to be just one video, or is it going to be like a series? Or
I want a series. Like, right now I've got coming up close to 70 videos on my YouTube channel. I want at least a quarter of that to be DMT.
Just release them slowly.
Just release them slowly. I'll talk to people like you. I don't know what could happen because every video is different. I want to get to the point where I meet people out who's got it and like just bring up the camera because I'm getting tired of seeing my own bedroom. This is why I get involved with people on Skype.
Well, at least your background looks cool, man. Mine's just a mirror.
It's fine. It's cool. Yours is like a hotel kind of vibe. Like you could be anywhere to shoot a video.
Yeah.
Whereas
But yeah, man.
this gets boring. But
Okay.
I want to do that.
Are you using a headphone or not? You're not, are you?
No.
So if I take my headphone off, are you gonna get feedback?
No. Oh, whoa. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. How about now? Try now.
Yeah.
Still? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll use the headphones.
That's strange. Do you hear anything on your side with me? No?
No. Your side's good. Yeah.
I wonder if... Oh,
Like you should, recently I went to the breaking convention. I don't know if you saw the videos I put up from the conference.
right.
There was a one speech where he was talking about DMT entities,
All right.
which is really interesting. So you should check that out, man. You should do one of your videos about the entities. It's really interesting.
Entities.
There's a couple on there actually about the entities. Check them out.
Definitely. Send me the link and I'll...
Okay, I'll send you that, yeah.
The entities, that shocked my brother.
Did it?
Yeah, it was so cool. Because he shot both of them actually. Once I got hold of it, I shared it with 1, 2, 3, 5 people.
What, your experience?
I gave them it for free to see what their reaction would be like. Because these are people who have been telling about my astral projection experiences for a long time and they just didn't believe me because they couldn't wrap their head around it. They've never experienced it or anything. So that's why I wanted to get hold of it. To tell them, look, this is my life. I do this constantly. Have some. You know? And when they bumped into the entities, they came back and they weren't speaking for a while. I think you said it in one of your videos, you come back and you can't really quite put it into words and you're sat there for a while just, you know.
Yeah.
But I've seen some people cry when they come back because of what they've experienced, and I've seen people changed because of it. What I got out of it was I did it enough times and I studied my consciousness whilst I was on it to recreate the effects when I'm not on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I broke through, I studied myself how I broke through. Now I can do it whenever I like without taking it. I can lay down and break through.
Really?
Right? Yeah, I can do stuff like that because I'm good at playing my consciousness anyway with astral projection. I wanted to take it to a next level. So that's why I took it. And it surprised me. It only put me in the states that I used to be in, which was the higher astral realms when I was younger. So astral projection, you've pretty much done it already. I mean, you haven't experienced the places that look similar to this place. Because when you take DMT, you go to some strange looking places.
Strange places.
But here, it's when you astral project and you get to a similar place like this, it's like the colours lifted, and there are some things you can do which you can't do here, like walk through walls and levitate, and you bump into.
And you have more control over what you're doing anyway, don't you, with astral projection?
Oh yeah.
With DMT, you don't. You have to watch.
watch and just observe and let things show you things.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. How was you when you started taking it, like at the beginning? Was you nervous or anything?
I still get nervous, believe it or not. Like, I've been hesitating for the past few days because I haven't done it for a long time now. But I still, when I think about it, I get sweaty and I can't. I get anxious. So I have to meditate before and just sit there and just look at it it takes me a while to get myself in the state of mind to do it. But yeah, man, the first time I did it, like, it was the first psychedelic I ever tried. So I had never done anything before that.
Same.
So for me, it was quite a big jump, like straight to the DMT. And the first few times I did it, not much happened, but because I didn't break through, I was doing it wrong. But when I did break through, man, it was, I still can't put it into words. It was the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. And I saw a change instantly. Like the first time I did it, I think it's my second video I put up. It was about, I used to have a smoking habit for like about 7 years. And I broke through, and literally within 10 minutes of coming back, I haven't touched a cigarette since for 2 years now, nearly 3 years actually. And to me, that was such a huge thing because I tried a lot of things. I tried patches, hypnotherapy, everything. Nothing worked. So for that to happen within a space of 5-10 minutes, to me, it was a miracle. So that, in a way, I mean, that was probably still to this day the biggest benefit I got from it.
Yeah, it's interesting how people use psychedelics to get out of things like that.
Yeah.
I
But
wish.
I wasn't even expecting it. I had no idea that it could even do that.
That's like an extra benefit.
So to me, yeah. I mean, I can tell you how, because even the experience itself of how I was healed from this addiction was weird, because it was clear as day. It was like, I'm seeing you now, but here, and it was a female entity made out of just light, I think. And she said to me, "You're ill. You need to be healed." And the next thing I know, she's sitting on me and just crazy stuff going on. And when I'm back, I couldn't even, just the thought of touching a cigarette just made me sick. Like, literally made me gag. And yeah, so to me, it still is a miracle, man.
That's amazing. I'd love to be able to do that on purpose, like astral project and just. I mean, I wish that happened to my brother. That's why I gave it to him. I gave it to my brother, my twin brother over there who lives next to me, and my younger brother downstairs, and he was heavily smoking weed, still is constantly. And, you know, I thought, okay, this stuff makes you see some things. It's like, next to marijuana, it's no comparison. I thought if I give it to him, and he tries it, maybe he'll just stop completely with the weed and stuff. I gave it to him, he said he saw some guy he was made out of colour. He went like this, and all the colour came out of his hands, and he was showing them how to manipulate energy and stuff like that. But then he came back, and he said he wasn't going to do it again. He wasn't going to touch weed, because it's just crap compared to what I just gave him. But a week later, he carried on again, and now he's doing it more than before. So he didn't have an entity for healing him or anything. He just had an entity showing him some stuff. And I thought that would be enough, but obviously it wasn't. And it's the same with my brother. He went off cigarettes, but he went on to vapors. And he's smoking those heavily now, like a lot. But yeah, they didn't receive a healing. But I'd love to be able to do that on purpose. I mean, I'm not sure when the next time is that I'll be smoking DMT. If I do, I'd want it in a more concentrated dosage.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, the one I did was pretty good. I was out for a while, and when I filled up the pipe, I call it 13 ounce. You can do it 13 times, and you'll be out like 13 times. You know, it was quite concentrated, and I had some friends coming over doing it as well. 2 of them, they also did it, came back shocked, freaked out. One of them wanted me to. No, one of them said that I should charge people for it.
Charge people to
Yeah,
do it?
to sell it, yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not interested in that, because, you know, no one knows about it in my area. They're all smoking weed. If I start bringing this out, my house could get robbed, I could get mugged. I thought I'm just going to keep it for myself and for, like, mental purposes to help some people out. So I started giving it away for free. You know, but only to close people who know about my secret, because back then I didn't tell everyone I could astral project. You know, it took me 4 years to tell someone, and that was like a person on YouTube. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. The entity that's on your chest, what did she look like?
She was just made out of light. I can't explain it. It was. I want to say light, but I want to say energy, but I don't know. It just looked translucent, and she was white. So the only thing I can compare it to is light. But you know the thing you said about smoking. I just wanted to say that like before I had my breakthrough, I knew that I was smoking a lot, and I knew that it was causing me harm, because I could, like, I was coughing a lot and stuff. So I knew that it was killing me. So I think there is something to it. So I think unless you know that something is wrong and you need to quit, you know, I think you need to have that in order to be able to completely put it aside. Because I knew I had to quit, and I think that's why it worked. So I think that's because a couple of other people I've spoke to, like one of my friends, he drank a lot. He didn't immediately, but it took him a while, like a few DMT sessions, and he stopped. But then he also knew that he had to stop, and he tried. So I think there might be a link there. So maybe your brother doesn't want to quit.
It's a shame, because it's messing him up big time. Like, everything about him is just getting worse because of it. But I don't know.
But yeah, but the DMT match, the entity, she was just made out of light, and that was it. And it's very strange, because when I think about it, there's certain things that I knew when I was there, but now when I think back to it, I don't know how I knew. I just knew it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. It was, and like
in that state, it made sense. Yeah. But
I remember it. It's like nowadays when I astral project, I've gone to a place where I speak a different language, and I knew what I was talking about, When I came back, it was like, wait a sec. You know, I could remember the language I was speaking, but I couldn't understand what I was saying. And it was annoying.
I know what you mean.
You know?
Do you get to, when you ask for travel, do you get to, like, say if you ask for travel and you play tennis, for example, do you think that also helps you when you come back?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. I mean, there are ways, when you astral project, you reach a level of thinking where you can come up with ideas easier and you can conceive how to do things differently, like telepathy and stuff, because you're talking to people telepathy in the astral realms. You come here and you remember, and you can do the same thing with people. You know, but it's on these different levels, like the emotional level and all these. It's really strange. Sometimes you can look at people and you can get their memories, and if you can do that, I'm pretty sure you can go out and train a certain way, maybe do some flips, play tennis, pull darts, whatever it is, and then come back and your body should remember. It should do. Definitely.
Interesting.
I mean, there's been times when I've been out and I did a flip, and then I come back and it's like, well, if I can do it here and I can do it over there, then it should happen the other way. Because I've had people say the same thing. Also, when I started studying for my driving lessons, in the astral realms, for some reason, the cars are always open. Always open. So I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try out what I learned in the lesson. I open the door to this red Toyota, go inside, the keys under the thing, and I do all the gears and everything.
Wow.
And that's interesting, because that's how you know you're definitely in the astral realms. You can't do that in a dream. You can't even read in a dream. All the letters are all mumbled up and everything. In the astral realms, you can read fine. Everything's good.
Yeah.
And
I can't wait to have my experience. I'm still trying. I'm actually following your videos. They're really good.
How long have you been trying?
Not long. I've always wanted to try, but it's only probably been about a month, maybe 3 weeks. From what I see, it takes a while to get the hang of it.
It depends.
I mean, because my sleeping patterns are a bit messed up, so
mainly it's adjustment that takes the time. You have to adjust your sleeping and your mindset. You don't want to panic and then come back. Stuff like that. Also, when you're staying there, identity issues. You need to know that your first body is your astral body, and this is like your limited body. It's gonna die pretty soon. You know, you had one before, so you can't really attach your personality to your body. Otherwise, you think, "Oh my God, where am I? I'm supposed to be in my bed," and you snap back to your bed. You need to understand your astral body is your body. It's never going to change. It's immortal. When you do that and you come out, you don't think about your shell.
Yeah.
And then you're out for a very long time. The longest I was out felt like 5 days.
Wow.
And that's because I would take naps in the astral realm. I wouldn't fall completely asleep. I would just lay there in the hospital once like this on the bench, and I'd close my eyes and I'd drift, and then I'd be like, okay.
Wow.
And then I'd lay down and like meditate in the astral realms, open my eyes, and I was in the same spot I was in the hospital, but it wasn't nighttime, it wasn't daytime anymore. There wasn't people walking around who couldn't see me. Now it was nighttime, you know, and I was just doing stuff like that, walking around. I'm really weird in the astrals, like, I'm really expressive, I don't really care because no one's around.
Yeah.
One time, you know, have you ever seen the film Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Where he gets up out of his body. No, out of his coffin, and he doesn't bend or anything, he just like rises up.
Yeah, straight up, yeah.
I did that up my bed. And I think I said I'm back or something like that, and then I knick-knacked off the edge of my bed and jumped on the floor, which is where you kick your heels together. But I'm really loud in the astrals because I just don't care. I do it here as well, but there even more. So I'm pretty sure you'll get the hang of it soon.
But I think what you said about being able to adjust to your astral body, I think DMT kind of helps with that, because when you go, you leave. And I there was once also I think what I experienced was like death and rebirth. So I'm kind of used to not having this body and able to cope with
You
this.
broke
So
through, right?
Sorry?
You broke through.
When? On DMT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what it's like to have your like character and everything just torn to shreds. I love that. That's like a proper break from 3D. You don't remember. You don't even remember speaking English or being able to speak.
There was
Any concept
There's
of
one where-
3D. Go on.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you're right. Like there was one time I complete like blankness. Like I didn't even know who I was, let alone my language. I remember once I was trying to even speak. I was trying to ask for help because it was just I was with a group of friends and it was so intense, and all I wanted to say was help, but I couldn't because I didn't know what language was. I was like, what language do I speak? And then I realized I don't know any languages to speak, and I was just like, what? And that was the first time I broke through completely, like a complete ego death, and I was there for quite a while. So yeah, I'm pretty used to that. So hopefully the astral thing will fall into place.
It's like a vacation.
Yeah.
You know, I did it yesterday. Not the DMT. I broke through yesterday off DMT because my brother was being too loud downstairs. I had a choice. I could leave the house and go to a park, or I can lay down and break through, like completely get away from everything. And I know a lot of people say astral projection is like an escape. This is the only time I've actually used the different altered state of consciousness to escape anything. And it was justified. It was really noisy here. It's been this way for like a month straight, and it really does ruin my mindset if I'm constantly hearing swearing and abuse, and because that's what he's like. He's one of these wannabe gangsters. And I understand what he's going through. He's 17 now, so he's going through that age group where he's really influenceable. So yeah, I escaped, had a little break, and came back. A lot of people ask me if I'm constantly astral projecting. I'm not. I'm mainly altering my mind and doing like the breakthrough and stuff like that. I'm experiencing different states of being rather than astral projecting, because after a while astral projecting does get a bit boring.
Have you ever tried to smoke DMT in the astral realm?
Oh, in the astrals? No.
Yeah.
I mean, once I smoked DMT and I got up out of my bed. Well, I thought I got up out of my bed. I sat up out of my body, and there were these people on my left and people on my right blowing trumpets, and the smoke was coming out, and the color, and there was this strange noise, like this music, and I was like, whoa, like this is cool. But I've never tried smoking it in the. No.
Maybe you should try. See if you can find it next time you go there.
What happens?
See what happens.
I've never even thought about it. That's interesting.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
I mean, I've definitely got the experience stored within my subconscious. I could use that to trigger me to get back to the States. Because I always went to a garden. How would it be for you when you took DMT? Where would you end up first? Because I went through a process every time.
Yeah, there was a process for me as well. Usually always happens is my surroundings start to dissipate and it breaks apart. It gets to a point where I can't look anymore because it's just so intense. Yeah. So, and I close my eyes, and it's usually the same. I'm traveling. It seems as if I'm traveling through something, and I always end up in a dome. Like I end up in a place where I just feel like there's a dome above me.
Yeah.
And I haven't been anywhere else. There was once where I was flying outside somewhere in space, but every other time I've always been in a dome. And I always go through like I want to say tunnel, but it's not a tunnel. It's more of a I don't know. It's like a portal.
Yeah. What's it made out of?
Just shapes and lights and colors. Let me show you a painting. Actually, I don't know if you can see this behind me. Wait. Right here. Can you see this?
Yeah.
This painting explains everything that I see on.
Well, the levels of creation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get shown that as well in the DMT?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the only one. That was cool.
I didn't understand at the time completely what it was showing me, but I realized afterwards what it was. It was amazing. It was showing me birth and death and everything between. It was unbelievable.
Was that through the tunnel?
No, that was when I got into the dome.
In the dome.
That was when I got in the dome, yeah.
I got to the point where I went through the tunnel, and the tunnel was made up. It was one tunnel, but it was sectioned out with different dimensions, and the entities would come out of the different dimensions in the tunnel, showing me things. And then they would show me the levels. And the way they showed me the levels was they put my consciousness in the beings that were at the levels, so that I kind of in your shoes scenario kind of understanding. And then I was it's blew my mind. And then I came back and I was cracking up laughing for a long time because the amount of information I remembered and I brought back and understood, I was just laughing for so long. And the person I was doing it with was like, "What's so funny?" She thought I was kind of weird, but I couldn't help it, get laughing.
I laugh every time as well. The first time when I broke through, when I came back, I was literally laughing and crying at the same time. I just didn't know what to make of it. It was just, It's still to this day when I think back to all the experiences I've had, it humbles me because it's just so out of this world. Like I always try to make sense of it, but I can't, and it just makes me realize how little we really know. Yet we think we know everything, but we don't know anything. And that, to me, actually, that's like probably one of the most, I guess, in a way, it's changed me, and that's the way it's changed me. I just see life in a different way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just makes you realize you're so small and insignificant compared to everything that's around you. And you realize that there's so much more to life than you can see.
Yeah.
And that sort of makes you, for me anyways, it sort of made me a bit more chilled out. Like, I don't get stressed as easily as I used to. Like, I used to have a very short temper. And now I hardly ever snap because I just understand that. I want to say it's not real, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, you understand what puts it together and the process of people and their lives.
Yeah.
And
I also understand that not everyone has seen what I've seen on DMT,
But if they did,
so
can you imagine?
If they did, it would be a different story,
I'd like to be able to get to the point where I can bring a group of people out of their bodies and create some sort of energy. Like when I'm laying next to my girlfriend and I'm meditating or I astral project, my consciousness allows her to stay conscious while she's falling asleep. And then she ends up lucid dreaming. But if you get like a group of people who can astral project to do the same thing, it's like, what effect would it have on everyone else, kind of thing. I'd like to bring everyone out at one go. It'd take a long time, but it took like 1,000 people. There was a study done where 1,000 people meditated and the crime rate went right down. If they could do that with that, then astral projection wise, it should be fine. I just have to host massive events.
Have you ever had an experience where you've seen something in the astral and have come back and had it confirmed that what you saw was really there? Like, did you ever visit someone and then tell them that they were doing this and that? And
I have. It was with my friend Max. I was in Egypt. He was in Ibiza. We're both from England, but we were both on holiday at the same time. And I was drunk because I still drank alcohol then. I've been able to astral project my entire life, so at the beginning I was kind of fighting it. I wasn't really giving a crap. But then one time I drowned and then it got a bit more serious, so I kind of dedicated my life to being healthy so that I could do these things better, which really did work.
Yeah.
But I was drunk, and in the astral realms I was also kind of funny. I wasn't straight. Like my head was, it was like I was drunk in the astral realms. And I jumped up on a bus stop and I needed a leak. And then I just went off the side of the bus stop, and then he looks up because he's on the other side, and I accidentally pissed on him, like completely by accident. And then as soon as I saw him, we became incredibly aware. There was something about me being in the astrals and him somehow being there. I'm not sure how it happened, but we both ended up on the same plane, in the same place. Maybe we was thinking about each other, we showed up. But in that point, we were like, hey, we're both astral projecting. And we were just like laughing. And we were playing around, doing stuff in the astral realms. And we were there for quite a while. As soon as I woke up, I texted him. And he was like, yeah, that was me. And then I was like, what did I do when I was on the bus stop? And he said, you pissed on my head. And I was like, what?
Wow.
It worked. And also I've had people who have passed on. I've gone to the astral realms, met them. And I've seen them have, like, it's called a life review, where you see your life and you get to see their environment, things, objects you wouldn't normally see here. I saw a dog, which I never even thought he had a dog. I came back after seeing him after he died, and his dad posted a photo on Facebook with him and the dog I saw. You know, so it's like this confirmation. I'm constantly getting confirmation about it. So astral projection, yeah, you meet a lot of things, entities as well as the ones you see on the DMT. The ones on the DMT look a lot better. They do. They're made out of light. They're made out of like sacred geometry, and they move very different compared to the ones in the astral realms. I mean, the ones in the astral realms, they move fast.
Yeah, they change fast as well.
Yeah.
Always morphing.
Yeah, I had that. I had these little guys.
Yeah.
They tried to morph. There was like 5 of them. The main character, the main one, levitated up in front of my face, but he couldn't levitate, speak, and morph at the same time. So he was like warping and like messing up. And I was like, yeah, you're trying to trick me, aren't you? He did a terrible job at that. But yeah, DMT is awesome. I mean, what would you say to people who maybe you're trying, like, they want to do it, but they don't know where to get it from? Without marketing that you should do. You know? Because a lot of people out there, they could mix it with something. You know?
Yeah, funny enough, that's the question that I get asked. Like, it's the most common question. To be honest, well, obviously I'm not going to tell you where to buy it, but
yeah, that's it.
because I mean, DMT. The thing is, the first thing you got to realize is you can find it in everything. So you could, if you knew enough chemistry, you could take the grass out of your garden and extract it. Obviously, you wouldn't get much because there's not much in there, but if you know like basic chemistry, you can extract it yourself, and that way you can be sure that what you're getting is actually DMT. Because also, like, there's a lot of videos I've seen online about people showing you how to make it, doing the extraction technique using like naphtha and like rye, like chemicals like that.
Yeah.
And because I've studied chemistry, that stuff is really dangerous. Like, you can't get pure naphtha in the UK. So what people are doing is they're using lighter fluid, which isn't 100% naphtha. So you're getting stuff in there that you shouldn't be getting. And that's why you get DMT that's yellow.
Yeah.
So what I recommend to people is just understand the basic chemistry of it, because it's not difficult at all, and just do it yourself. But do it with the right substances.
Definitely.
I was actually going to do a video on that, but the thing is, this stuff is so risky that you never know who's watching, and
yeah, you don't want it to like, you don't want to get
someone make something and they use it and they die, or God forbid something bad happens and then comes back to us, you know.
I mean,
so I don't want to tell people how to do it, but it's very, very easy. It's very easy. It takes
I mean, just a look online, you can figure out how to do anything online nowadays. Maybe even how to build a robot. Stuff like that.
But just be safe what you use, because that's the most important thing. You want to extract the molecule from your organic compound, which is usually the root bark you get from the mimosa tree.
Yeah.
And you can buy that online. So just use the right products. Naphtha, if you can get 100% pure, is okay. Just don't use lighter fluid. That's my advice.
Would you say doing it in a group is better? I mean, I've done it in... The most I've had in one room is 3 people. And noise was incredibly annoying. Anyone made any amount of noise, it would like bring you back and just ruin the whole experience.
Yeah, I had experiences like that. I had one friend who, every time he smoked DMT, he would get physically violent. Like, he wouldn't move out of his place, but he would like slap his arms around and scream. Yeah. And that, every time, that just like really freaked me out, and it brought me back. So ever since, I've just been doing it on my own, and I think that's the way. So you get a lot more out of it when you do it on your own.
Oh yeah, definitely. No distractions or anything.
No distractions. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a group where you're with people that you really, really, really trust, and you know everyone's going to be quiet, then I think that way is okay too. But if there's going to be people talking and stuff, no.
I mean, one time I had a guy at this end of my room. My bedroom's kind of big. It's from one end of the house to the other end of the house. He was at one end, we was at the other on DMT, and he was writing on a notepad, you know, to communicate to the other guy so that he didn't speak. But I could hear him writing.
Oh, right.
I could hear everything, and you have to like really kind of tune it out, but it's hard because your senses go on, like on steroids for the first, especially when you take it and then you lay back and all the color in the room just comes out, and you don't look at yourself, your arm, or look in the mirror or anything like that.
Do you ever look at your tattoos? They get really strange when you start looking at them. Have you tried it?
No, the most I've looked is here,
out
and I've looked in the mirror at my face. That's the most I've looked. I haven't looked at my tattoos.
Try your tattoos next time.
Definitely.
It's really, really good. Yeah, it's really fun. They literally come alive for me.
That's it.
Yeah. But have you ever tried doing it like outside?
No.
In nature? No. I've never tried it. I want to try that.
I mean, the closest, because my girlfriend, she wants to go to Peru to do this, and I don't mind. I mean, I've been told that people who do it in Peru, the ayahuasca, because it's DMT, right? It's in the same compound. They take it and it lasts hours and hours. And I've heard that they sometimes vomit and they have diarrhea and they're throwing up all this black stuff and it's off-putting.
Yeah.
But if anything, because I don't want to start getting hold of it now in this location that I'm in, like in this house, because it's going crazy in this house. The house is getting searched quite a bit because my brother and everything. This is like what do they call it? A Class A substance. Yeah, and I don't think it's worth it at my current. Maybe when I move out eventually, I'll find a way to do it. But until then, Peru looks like the next.
Yeah,
destination. Me too. Peru, and it's cheap as well. Definitely.
I think the most expensive thing is the flight. The rest is once you're there, you're right.
500.
Is it 5? I thought it was 9.
9. Depends what day you book it. We found one that was 500 on the day we was looking, and then the next day, the next day was 800. So it changed quite a bit. But Peru, that sounds like a good idea. I think that would be like the next level, because I've done astral projection, DMT. I want to like expand both of them even more. You need to spend longer time doing it. So the ayahuasca makes sense. But then again, there are people who have done it and they've said they've got nothing out of it. Yeah.
But that's the same with everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I've had friends who've done acid, they never get anything out of it.
I've never done. I've heard about it, but that's about as far as it stays. Yeah, acid. Someone's told me that they were looking at their friends, 2 of them, and there's a black hole opened up in between them and like sucked them in. And,
on acid?
Yeah, on acid. You'll see some strange stuff. And I was curious, but I'm never going to get curious enough to do it, because DMT made sense to me because it's natural and everyone else already produces it. So to me, it's like putting more blood in the body which has blood. So that was more than enough convincing that I need. Plus spending all day on YouTube. And I saw your video before I did it a long time ago, where you was in your bedroom, and I think you did it the first time.
Yeah. The one where I couldn't speak properly.
Yeah. And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. I don't understand how it's illegal, but it's like saying, like you just said, blood. It's like them coming out and saying blood is illegal.
Yeah, blood transfusion.
Yeah. Hopefully one day. I mean, I heard. Did you read? There was an article a couple of days ago where in Mexico they've completely legalized all the drugs, like heroin and meth and LSD and all that.
I think I have. I saw a post on Facebook and I thought, is this real? I thought maybe someone played with it and just tried to fool everyone saying it was real, but...
Yeah. I don't know, but maybe. I know, where was it? Portugal. Is it Portugal where it's all legal?
I'm not sure. I heard a rumour Amsterdam, most of the stuff's getting legalised. But Portugal, I'm not sure. I mean, I know there are some psychedelics that can be used to help people. Like MDMA for depression. People are already using medicated marijuana. And
ayahuasca.
Are they? Already?
They're using it for depression, PTSD. They're using iboga for heroin addiction. On iboga, apparently you trip for 2 days. straight. So you have to go to a clinic, and it's legal in the UK actually. There's clinics in London where you can just go and it basically, they say, I've never done it. It's called the grandfather. Is it the grandfather or is that peyote? I'm not sure. But it's like basically you have a life review with yourself.
Oh, it's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's curing like heroin addiction, just like literally straight away.
Life review. They're awesome. I only ever see those or experience those in the astrals. So it's one. I wonder how it's doing it. That is interesting. Yeah, but the way it does it with me, the process of DMT and stuff, notice it is different from everyone. That's why I asked you. I take it, like you said, all the patterns, the geometrical, sacred geometry shapes go on to the point where I have to close my eyes because otherwise the room kind of merges into itself. Yeah. It's really weird. But then the bed, or what the patterns look like, because it's like you're seeing the patterns even though seeing your eyes are open. You close them, they just come on stronger. And then the patterns would fall down, and then it's like the world turns so that I'm set up right. It's not like I get up to do it. The world moves for me. And then I find myself... Okay, no. Then I see more patterns until I break through. After I've broken through, when I come back, that is when I come down and I go to the garden. And it's a maze, and every time I go to the entrance, there are people dancing. Always people dancing. There are 3 girls on my left that are always dancing. A guy with a hat on and slacks that comes in front of me and starts like doing knickknacks with his ankle, and someone does cartwheel, and they get my attention and they lead me through the maze of the garden, and I get to the corner of the maze, and there's a black woman that's sat there, and she's made out of like 2D colourful shapes and everything. A small guy on my right, and we look at a table. It's a round table, and it has a pattern on it. It's like an X, and one part of the table's black, the other's white, then black, then white. And then it turns like this, and then the inside opens up, and then I get pulled inside the table. That is the intro for the rest of the trip. Whatever happens after I'm on the other side is what happens. I often end up, like I said, in the tunnel where I'm being taught how things are. I end up seeing other entities, different planes. One time I went straight up and I saw the earth, and the earth turned into a flower of life symbol. Like just unfolded, and then I came straight back down again. And I found myself in a massive room where it was like you look that way and you can't see the wall. You look this way, you can't see the wall. It's just like you can see the ceiling and the floor. And on the floor, there were people's hands up like this, and I was flying through them. And wow, that was weird. Because they were like all purple. Their skin was purple and everything. And they were like, you know, like on a roller coaster where they're like, yay, and they're cheering. It was like a massive concert, but in another dimension, and there was no one playing music. But the sky was fire, and it's like sat. It was really nice. It didn't look like hell. It looked quite nice, this place. And it looked really far one way and the other way. And it was just void. It was really cool. It just went on forever. And yeah, I get loads of things. But it always starts in that process. I break through first. And as I'm coming down, I go into the garden. And then I go through the table. And then once I do all that, I come back. And it's like the images that became so complex, they created things. They break down into more simpler things like worms and flies. And then they get smaller and smaller into little energies that fly around. And then I come back here. And then when I open my eyes, even then things still look strange.
Yeah, for a few minutes for me too. But so you always have the same takeoff?
Yeah, always.
Really?
Same takeoff.
Right.
And depending, if I did it like 6 times in one day, then it would be like on like the 6th try, everything would be, the takeoff is different. Everything's way different. It goes much more darker, less colourful colours. And then it's like everything's like a tattoo. The shapes become more tribal rather than geometrical. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop. And then I stop.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's not always the same for me, but I do have things that are similar. Like I always get a very high pitched noise when I smoke that comes. It seems as if it's coming from behind me, and it gets closer and closer, and it gets louder.
Oh.
And when it gets really loud, that's usually when I completely break through.
Oh.
But I get the same as you. When I first smoke, the room starts to change and morph until I can't look anymore.
Yeah.
So then I close my eyes and the sound is getting louder and I'm just going through this tunnel, portal, whatever. And yeah, similar to you, I get all these hands coming out of the thing, the portal. There's shapes, they're making shapes. I've met entities in the portal. It's always usually when I'm there, in the dome. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what a bird.
A bird.
Big bird, like the size of a car.
Yeah, I saw a dragon.
A dragon.
Dragon flying above, yeah, in a circle. It was interesting. And it was very weird because it was flying like in a circle above me, and I could feel what he was doing. Like I could feel his responsibility. Like he was responsible for looking out for me, right?
Yeah.
And I could feel his responsibility, and it was such a big responsibility. And I was just like looking at him, and I just wanted to cry. It was very strange. I'm thinking he's just flying there for me, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
How did he look?
How did it look?
Yeah.
Oh man, he was made out of glass. I want to say he was red, but he was translucent, and he was reflecting like light from all the different like points where his body met. So it was like two pieces of glass where they met. There was like a reflection coming, like light, and he had all these little lights all over him. And there was no fire. There was nothing. He wasn't like an evil dragon. He was like a nice dragon. There was no fire. There was nothing like that, and it was just.
That's cool. That was on DMT.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen dragons when I astral project. I haven't seen them on DMT yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were cloud ones. They were like made out of cloud.
Okay.
They were massive, and I actually made a video on it, put it on my channel. Thick, because they were like fish. The way they were moving through the sky, because they're like really fluid and everything. And I've met a dragon. A person turned into a dragon as well.
An astral projection.
Yeah, astral projection. A guy looked at me and he wasn't happy with me for some reason. And then he kind of like ran at me and then dematerialized. They came back together as a big jade dragon, a green dragon.
Did you run?
Oh no. I felt everything. Like you said, you could feel their intent and everything. That's pretty much how we speak on the astrals only. And we use that to communicate, and I was like, okay, he's not going to do anything. He was bluffing. I could feel it. You can't lie to someone in the astrals. But I was like, okay, I'm going to leave anyway. If you're noticing, this guy's in my bedroom, and it's my bedroom, and he's just showing up out of nowhere. I'm just going to go through the door. And I went through the door, went downstairs, and just did my thing.
Okay.
But,
so
yeah.
they can't mislead you on the astrals. So someone, they deceive you and say, come with me. And
they can try, but it's pointless. You can feel everything. Like, so much. I mean, here, the only way you can mislead someone is to distract them. So you distract them with something that they want, so that they create an energy in their body, an emotional response. It's like, oh yeah, I really want that, and excitement, to the point where they're not actually focusing on you. Then you've got them. You can say anything you want, and you can just mislead them. Here, it's not like that at all in the astral realms. You can feel everything. Like the little people that I said, the shapeshifters, the one that was in front of me, he said, do you want to be involved in a experiment? And I went, depends, because I've always wanted, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, where he leaves and goes into space. I've always wanted that kind of scenario. But I don't want to go into space and get ripped to pieces or something, because you see a lot of things on TV. Obviously, I've been watching some stuff. But I didn't let that dissuade me from wanting to go. I just let that influence me into asking a lot of questions. So I said to the entities, okay, what am I going to be doing? Where am I going to go? How long am I going to be gone for? What experiment is it? When I started asking these questions, he got really, really quiet and he wouldn't give me an answer. So I was like, okay, well, I can feel you're completely lying to me, so bye. And then he just had nothing, just left.
So what do you think would have happened if you did go with him? If you had bad intent, what can they do?
I'm not sure. I've never gone.
Can you get possessed?
Nah, I don't think you get possessed. Not in the astrals. Nah, you have to be really. Your consciousness has to be so low to be possessed. Like, you need to be on everything, on drugs, on alcohol. You need to have a crappy life and really think like really bad of yourself for your frequency to go so low and eat a lot of crap food, like a lot, to the point where these things can come into you and just take the energy and possess you. Otherwise, if you're astral projecting on your own and you can do it, your frequency already is high enough for them not to intrude, which is fine.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
yeah, and I presume if you ended up in like the lower astral realm, you would know, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, you would know. Just look in the mirror in the astrals, see what's going on, see if there's anyone trying to jump into you. You know.
Okay.
And
okay, that's good stuff.
Most of the lower ones are thought forms of other people anyway. It's like when you lucid dream, you see your subconscious mind. When you astral project, you see the world's subconscious mind. Everyone, you see all their thought forms, everything, so you can really figure out how screwed up this world is by looking in the dark areas of the astral realm. But most people don't go there anyway. And anyway, you normally only go there if, like I said, your mind's screwed up. Or if you're surrounded by people in the house where their minds are also screwed up, then you'll go there. But even then, you need to go there anyway. I mean, I've learned a lot by going to the lower realms. They're actually just as good as the higher realms. You learn just as important information in these places. You learn how to manipulate 3D from the lower realms. You learn how to manipulate 3D from the higher realms. There are entities in the lower realms that may look ugly, but they're actually nice people. Especially 2D. 2D is awesome. It's full of cartoon people, right? Because it's all like two-dimensional. That's where I spent most of my time as a kid, in 2D, which is when I took the DMT, it reminded me of when I used to do it as a kid, because it was all colours and cartoony. I loved it.
I've had cartoon ones, DMT. Everything looks like a flat cartoon.
Yeah.
It's quite yeah.
Especially
amazing.
when you move in 2D. Have you ever tried walking around in 2D? It's like a game, like an old game, where it's like you have played Alien on like the old Segas.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, like that.
I've never tried moving. No. I've never on DMT. I've never tried moving actually.
Really, you never walked?
No.
My brother said when he took it, he got guided by this guy that looked like an octopus.
Oh, I meant physically, like with this body.
Oh, physically, no, me neither.
Oh yeah, no. So I was thinking I meant physically, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, obviously in there I've moved, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 2D.
Yeah.
Like a game. It's really cool. Besides where to get it from, what is the main thing that everyone tells you about DMT? Like on your messages, on your inbox, the main question that they keep asking.
What, from people who haven't done it?
Yeah, from who haven't done it.
I get a lot of questions about being scared to do it and what to do with the fear before taking it, which is something that I can't really give people advice on because I'm trying to deal with it myself. What I found is breathing techniques. Like right before I do it, I sit down and I just like breathe for about 10 minutes. And that helps me a lot. Other common questions I get asked, apart from where to buy it from, is I think it's how to make it. I think people are having a lot of problem getting hold of it, and when they do get hold of it, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the main question really is where and how to get it, and what to do about the fear before launching. Mainly, I get these a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I would sit there and I knew what to expect, but still be a bit nervous. And I had a friend once. He came over. He was supposed to take it on the day. Okay, he's supposed to come over and take it. He did it the day before. He came over. He was so nervous. He didn't do it for the entire day. Like nothing. Didn't even try it. He was too freaked out, and he was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I normally take it straight away. And he just sat there with like a leg twitch, shaking the lighter. It was there, it was packed, it was ready to go, but like nothing. And then he had to come back a week later, and then he did it. And,
okay.
You know.
So it all depends on the state of mind you're in, I guess. I mean, if you're confident that... because I'll be honest, it is a scary experience because you're going into a place that you've never been to. You have no idea what it is. So, I don't blame people for being scared, but at the same time, you gotta just... There's nothing to be afraid of, I don't think.
No.
I don't think. I think it's just the fear of the unknown. That's it.
And the roller coaster ride, the energies you experience. I remember the first time I took it was like the inside vibrated at the tone, and I could hear it outside. And because I could hear it outside, it was like the air was vibrating at the same tone, and it was meeting my body. Cam was dying. And then it felt like somebody had took my spine and stretched it a little bit, and there was heat at the bottom with the vibration. And the vibration carried up into my head, pulsating here, and that's when I looked into the mirror and I saw like writing or these symbols all over my face here. I could see the energy meridians all through my face, my eyes, like the Alex Gray art that you see with the DMT. And then I looked at my arm and I saw the holes and the dots and everything. It looked incredible.
Wow.
But
it's incredible. It's when you get there, it's incredible, and you realize you think to yourself, why was I even scared to do it?
yeah,
I always get that. I'm always scared, and when I'm there, I'm like, it's so familiar to me. It's like, wow, what was I scared of? And you don't want to come back, do you?
nah. I mean, when I first broke through, I wanted to come back because I forgot what it was like to be human. I was panicking.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, I was like, wow, time, because you get a good sense of time and how small time is here. Because when you get there, it's like time is infinite. It's like you realize what time or infinity actually is when it comes to no limit with the times kind of thing, you know? Whereas when you get here, it's like time goes quite quick. It goes slow here, but when you're there, it's like a blip. And then you come back here, then it's slow. But when you're there, here is really quick. You know what I mean? So it makes you like appreciate the time you have here a lot longer, a lot more. And you want to be here for longer, You want to make a difference with the time that you've got rather than wasting it away. Because when you go back, when you break through and you realize that time goes so quickly over here. I couldn't even remember what I was, my character here, my place here. I couldn't even remember what I looked like. And I was like, wow, that's annoying.
Yeah, I agree with you on that totally.
And then I wanted to break through on purpose. After I came back here, I put it away for like a week. And then I started doing things, making up for lost time. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to do it again, see what happens. Broke through again, and I was okay with it. I managed to bring the intention of knowing that I'm there because I put myself there on purpose. So it allowed me to let go of the memories easier. And then I can just sit there in like nothingness and just be okay with like the amnesia that I've just experienced within like 30 seconds. And then I don't have to use it on purpose, which is really cool.
Interesting.
But check out that video.
Definitely.
On my
I'm going to try it after we hang up.
Try it out and see where you go. I've had somebody who did it the next morning. Him and another friend of mine, we're going to be on a chat tomorrow that's going to be live on Kelly Collins' website. Not website, on her YouTube channel. So she's going to host it live. So there's going to be 4 of us talking about astral projection.
What time?
5 o'clock.
GMT. Our time.
UTC. Yeah. Our time.
Yeah.
Our time.
Okay.
That's so cool because they're like
I'll tune in for that.
12 o'clock. But yeah, those two were able to do it because I taught them. And they're able to do it whenever they like now. So you'll see from their reaction what's happened after they picked up the products and they were able to do it off my website. Okay.
Sweet.
So I'll speak to you soon. And
Definitely. I'll be in touch tonight.
Yeah.
And we'll arrange.
Right. Peace.
It was fun chatting to you, man. It was really interesting.
Definitely. I was surprised with the beard though. Definitely surprised.
Yeah, I'm growing.
I cut mine off
I've always
recently.
wanted to see what it looks like.
Like
I'm
fully.
gonna grow it and then shave it. Yeah.
Because I had a beard before I came. I had a beard and an afro. I put it on
I remember that you had in some of your videos.
And I've always wanted to get it a certain length, but then I just get the craving just to...
Yeah.
Oh well.
Right now it's at that stage where I just want to shave it because it's itching and it just looks off. But I'm just gonna give it another month and see what happens.
Chat to you soon.
Take care of yourself.
You too.